Yesterday, I spent all afternoon out in the cow lot lifting heavy gates, heavy posts, getting some things organized so that we can get more cattle put into our lots. And I knew after being out there that I was going to be a little bit sore, and that's something. I mean, it's just things I don't normally do, right? So I planned on being pretty sore this morning, and I always every day I stretch. But I wanted to talk a little bit about stretching because I think it's something that a lot more people need to do, but a lot of people overlook. And like I said, last night I sat down and I stretched for a little longer than what I typically would. I spent maybe 10, 12 minutes stretching. Normally I spend maybe 5 to 10. But I spent a little bit more time doing the stretching because I knew today, after doing things that I hadn't done in a long time, I was going to be sore. So why is stretching important? Why is that flexibility such a good thing? So I can't remember the last time that I went any extended period of my life without stretching. It's something that I've done every single day. Well, maybe not every single day, but I've done it probably at least 5 out of 7 days every week for as long as I can remember. And that goes back past like maybe even junior high. I mean, it's been a long time that I've done this. And it's something that a lot of people, I ask them if they stretch, and they kind of look at me like I'm crazy. Like, no, I don't stretch. Why would I stretch? But there are so many things in our lives that lead us down a path. And as those things lead us down a certain path, we develop certain areas of strength. With that, we also develop certain areas of weakness. The way to counteract some of that in the short term is to stretch. We can stretch out those tighter areas. As we get stronger, if we're not stretching, our muscles tend to get shorter and shorter. And that brings us into a position where certain muscles are tasked with doing more and certain muscles are tasked with doing less. This brings us out of balance. And that fits into the theme of everything I talk about, right? The health is balance. If you're able to get back into balance, you're able to get back to health. If you're not able to get back into balance, you are unhealthy. That's just the way it is. So when we work on our flexibility and we take those muscles that are extremely tight and we stretch them out, we help our body move better. And as we move better, we counteract some of that balance difference. So even if that muscle in the back is weak, it doesn't have to work as hard because it's not counteracting a muscle that is so strong. So it's kind of like, if you have two people and they've got a pulley, and that pulley has 1,000 pounds for a stronger person and 50 pounds for a weaker person, it doesn't matter if that person that's weaker if they have any strength at all, they're going to be able to move that 50 pounds easier than the person who has 1,000 pounds on theirs, no matter how strong that person is. The same thing happens if your quads are really, really strong. Your hamstrings have to work to counteract them. If you stretch your quads and you loosen them up, your hamstrings don't have to work as hard. And this is what can help us prevent some long-term injuries. So we're talking tendonitis or different things that build over time, the inflammatory things. It can help us prevent some of those. But it also gives us that flexibility that we need to prevent short-term injuries too, right? How many of us have gotten put into a position where we had a slip or a fall, or we missed a step or something where we just had to move really, really quickly? If we have to move really, really quickly like that and we don't have the flexibility to do it, it's going to lead to injury. But if we do have flexibility, we're going to be able to counteract that. We might not get injured. We still might get injured, but we might not get injured. We have a better likelihood of coming out of that in a better position. And that's a lot of where we need to go with our lives. And it's not just muscularly, but we have to develop that flexibility throughout our life. We have to do things that are difficult for us. And that's the number one reason that people give me for not doing a certain stretch. Yeah, I suck at that one. I don't want to do that one because I'm not good at it. But if you look at life, that's how we are in pretty much everything, right? It doesn't matter if we're talking about our skills. Yeah, I don't really want to do that because I'm not good at it. It's going to take me forever to do that. It's easier to get somebody else to do it, right? That's just the way it is. And on many things, you should get somebody else to do that. If we're talking about something at work, go do something you're better at. Have somebody else do this that you're not good at because it's inefficient to do that thing that you're not good at. But there are times in our lives that we need to do those difficult things, those things that we're not as good at, because we've got to develop that flexibility. And that's where exercise and stretching and getting out of our comfort zone to learn new skills, all of that stuff gives us flexibility. So when life presents challenges to us, we can respond to those challenges. We can respond to them with not only a better skill, but a decreased likelihood that something bad is going to happen if life presents us with that surprisingly. I don't know, maybe that's getting a little too deep. That might be getting a little too philosophical there, but think about what you do throughout the day. There are so many people that are in the same position, whether it's seated or standing in one spot, or they move in one certain direction all day long. Factory workers move in a certain direction all day long. Office people sit at a desk every single day. They've got their shoulders slumped forward. What areas of your body are going to end up tight from that? What can you do to counteract some of that? So if you find those, start stretching. Just a couple times throughout the day, just stretch. It doesn't have to be 100 times a day. Just a couple times. Just move yourself forward a little bit and see how much different you feel. That's my challenge to you. Find the area that you're going to be stiff in. Find the stretch that you're bad at and do it a few times. Just a couple days for a couple of weeks and see how you feel. See if you feel different. I think you're going to notice that makes a big difference. But like I said, I thought I was going to be sore today. I sat down, I stretched last night, and I actually feel great today. So I'm kind of surprised on that, but sometimes when you plan ahead, you win. So I hope this helps you guys. I really hope that you take the challenge and you decide to do this, because I really do think it's going to make a massive difference in your lives. I hope that you have a great week. If this is helpful, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate your time, your attention, and most of all, I appreciate you. So have a great week, and I'll talk to you on the next video.